Valid 12/12 through 12/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
More road games are coming up for Bronny James. LeBron's son will play with the South Bay Lakers in the G League Showcase this week in Orlando. When Bronny was assigned to South Bay in November, the original plan was to limit him to home games only. In South Bay's last 3 games, 2 of them on the road, Bronny is averaging 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. First game for South Bay in the 4-day showcase is Thursday. The Milwaukee Bucks were 2-8 in November. Last night, they won the NBA Cup championship in Vegas. They beat Oklahoma City 97-81. A monster triple-double for Milwaukee's Giannis Antetokounmpo, 26 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists. Former NFL star Michael Vick, a sensational quarterback back in the day, will be the new head football coach at HBCU Norfolk State. More details on Vick's new job this afternoon. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Boys to Men, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm delighted to have you on with us, I should say, in this hour. As promised, a conversation with internationally renowned chess grandmaster Maurice Ashley. We'll talk about his rise in the world of chess as a black champion. We will also discuss his books, which detail his life on and off the chessboard, and we'll talk about the Maurice Ashley Chess Fellowship to elevate young prodigies in underserved communities. I am delighted to welcome chess grandmaster Maurice Ashley to this program. Maurice, how are you today, sir?
I am doing fabulously indeed. Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's my honor to have you on. Thank you for the time. Glad we have an hour. There's a whole lot to talk about in this hour. Let me start with this. I am always, as this audience knows, I say it all the time. They know my story here. I'm always fascinated by people's backstory. We'll get to becoming a chess grandmaster as we move through this hour. Particularly as a black champion. But give me some of the backstory to Maurice Ashley. I'm asking this in part because I'm trying to figure out, and I'll assess this as you answer my question, whether or not I can create a profile of the kind of person who has the potential to become a chess grandmaster. But give me more about your backstory that put you on the path to being a chess player.
Well, my story is actually quite different from the average person who ends up becoming a grandmaster. First
Mm-hmm.
of all, I started extremely late at the age of 14,
Mm-hmm.
which in chess terms is geriatric. You got to start when you're like 5, 6, 7 years old
Yeah.
if you want to become a grandmaster at chess. And so I started way too late. I started in high school, in Brooklyn Technical High School, where I went to school. A friend of mine was playing some chess. I knew the rules of the game, but that's it. And I played him, and he just wiped me off the board. I happened to see a book in the library, and that faithful book changed my life. Just checking that book out of the library, I realized that there were books on chess. First of all, I didn't even know there were books on chess. And second of all, that there were strategies and tactics and ideas and famous players and all that. And I just fell in love. I just dove right into the world of it and started playing all the time. With my friend who, after I read that book, I thought I was going to beat him. He crushed me again. Turns out he had read that book and a bunch of other books. But I fell in love with it, started finally beating him and just playing chess in the parks. You know, there were hustlers in the park in Brooklyn. In New York, we have a robust park scene, a chess scene.
Oh, yeah.
So I was able to practice and wet my teeth and lose some of my lunch money, frankly, against those players in the park. But soon my brain just took to it and I got much better.
Yep. Tell me whether or not it was the loss, your friend kicking you in your behind, that made you get the book and wanted to continue the game, or whether there was something more about the game, the aesthetics, the game itself that attracted you.
Well, I come from a very competitive family.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Jamaica, actually. I came to the U.S. when I was 12 years old. But my brother and my sister are also ultra competitive types.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a couple of other siblings who also trash talk a lot, even though they haven't done any of the international accomplishments that we have. But they are heavy trash talkers in our family. I mean, it's war, you know. And you trying to play some spades, don't come to the Ashley household unless you're ready to get your feelings hurt like bad. My brother is my oldest brother is a 3-time world champion kickboxer, kickboxing champ. And my baby sister, who we used to just, make her pout and cry and get all upset. Well, she turned that around. Now she's a 6-time world champion boxer. And all three of us are in the Hall of Fame in our respective activities. So I think that, losing is not something we take lightly, even though I would say that it's not something that deters us. It motivates, it inspires us.
Right.
And so that loss, it actually it didn't tell me to go get the book. The book happened to just be on the shelf.
Right.
And my eyes caught the book and said, whoa,
Yeah.
this is the way I'm going to beat that clown who beat me.
Yeah.
And so that was the avenue for it. But as you described, it was the aesthetics of chess.
Sure.
It was how incredible the game is and the strategies and tactics and ideas that just mystified me and married extremely well with my young mind.
I'm laughing. It's going to be a great hour. I can tell already. I love Maurice Ashley. It's going to be a great conversation. I'm laughing, though, because I'm one of 10 kids, as many of you know. And when he was talking about playing spades, getting your feelings hurt, I'm like, oh, no, we come from the same family. Because if you want to get your feelings hurt, and this is not I'm not good at this. This is not my gig. But my 7 baby brothers who are listening right now back in Indiana, you want your feelings hurt? Come play spades or tonk or anything else with them Negroes, and they will hurt your feelings and take your money. But the Ashley family is far worse than mine. Because if you come to my house, you may get your feelings hurt. You go to the Ashley house, you're getting your feelings hurt. You may get kicked in the face. You may get hit upside the head. I mean, that's a whole nother.
That's right.
That's a whole nother level of competition. You got a world champion boxer, a world champion kickboxer, and a chess grandmaster. Oh no. That's way more than getting your feelings hurt. You may get hurt physically if you jump too bad in that household. I digress for now. As I said, going to be a great hour with this black, renowned chess grandmaster. A great deal more to cover with Maurice Ashley when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on! Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
The revolution will not be televised.
This is Brother Cornell West. My dear brothers and sisters, I'm full of joy and delight to announce that I'm joining the precious family at KBLA Talk 1580, founded and led by my dear, dear brother Tavis Smiley himself. Yes, the name of the show is Truth Time, and I'll be working with the inimitable Nina Turner out of Cleveland, Ohio, sister of great vision, and we will be on weekday at 12 noon. We will be following Brother Tavis Smiley's show. We will begin Monday, January the 6th. That's right, Monday, January the 6th. Get ready for a different kind of insurrection. We coming with Martin Luther King Jr. and Fannie Lou Hamer and Curtis Mayfield and Aretha Franklin, and gonna add a little Gil Scott Heron too, as Nina Simone sits at the center. That's right.
The revolution will be live.
That's what we gonna do. Please come with us on this fantastic voyage.
The revolution will put you in the driver's seat.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Maurice Ashley. We are talking to this black renowned chess grandmaster who I'm pleased to have on this program. A lot to cover in this hour. I want to go back before I go forward, though, Maurice. You were saying earlier, and you sort of skipped past this, and we've seen this in film after film after film. You see Spike, not just Spike Lee, but many others have shown scenes of people sitting around in the parks in New York playing chess. It's one thing to see that depicted in film, but particularly when you were just a young kid, what's it like being out there playing those hustlers in the park? Take me inside the park.
Well, chess is supposed to be a quiet game,
right?
You know, a gentleman's game. It's supposed to be played with sipping tea, maybe. But you come to Brooklyn, you find out very quickly it's not like that at all. First of all, you're in Brooklyn. Hello.
Yeah.
There's sirens going off around you. There is noise. There's music. Boom boxes playing. We're talking back in the 80s now.
Yeah.
You got a whole vibe going on. You might catch a couple of gunshots back in the day. And honestly, that has happened.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? We just looked around and said, okay, is everything good? Let's keep playing chess.
Yeah.
All right. So that is real, what I just described to you.
Sure.
On top of which, they're in the park playing chess. You can't tell a brother to shut up. You know what happens when you tell a brother to shut up. He keeps talking louder.
Yeah.
Like, you think you were distracted?
Yeah.
Well, you should never have told him that his voice was actually bothering you, because that's coming at you even faster.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have this amazing scene. I grew up playing chess in Prospect Park in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
And there'd be tons of tables. There'd be people playing on all boards, people watching, the music going on, the trash talking, people playing for money. And you just were in that vibe, and it just was an electric scene.
Yeah.
When I think about it, to actually have been immersed in that kind of culture and acculturation was incredible training, really, for the world of competitive chess.
I love the culture. Let me come to the training. You are prescient and prophetic. You know exactly where I was going. Because the next question I want to ask, given what you've just said, is what that does long term for your concentration. To your point, chess is meant to be a quiet game. Again, we've seen this depicted in all kinds of movies. I was watching the James Bond flick the other night. For those of you who are James Bond fans, you know James Bond has been playing. There are a number of scenes in a variety of movies where there's chess games going on. Of course, Bond loved being in the gambling halls. So Bond was a gambler and a pretty good one. But I was watching a James Bond film the other night, and there's this huge chess scene that opens up the film. If you're a James Bond fan, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, when you're sharing that story about growing up in Brooklyn and Prospect Park and playing, I can only imagine that if you can become a great chess player under those conditions, when there is quiet, then you must be masterful. Then again, I can read it the other way, that you get used to those sounds, you get used to that movement, you get used to that energy. And when it's quiet, you off your game. You tell me which one turns out to be true. I mean, I can assume, given that you in fact became a grand master, but just compare for me those two environments.
Well, as you describe it, you're quite astute in guessing that both possibilities are true. It's like Schrodinger's cat. Is the cat dead or is it alive? You don't know until you open up the box.
Yeah.
In my case, it was the case that really facilitated the process of being able to focus intently under any conditions, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Music. I just actually played. I was in Singapore playing a match just now, and we did it in a nightclub. I mean, it was actually the top of this hotel, the Sky Club, and people were dancing and music was blasting. And you know what? We just playing chess like it's nothing because that is not distracting whatsoever. In fact, it almost enhances the creativity being in that kind of stimulating environment. However, there are some people I've also noticed that is what they were comfortable with. So when we had to go into those austere, more quiet conditions of these elevated chess clubs, they just didn't feel comfortable in that vibe. I was actually able to simply integrate myself into any situation I was in, and that allowed me to be able to both play on the international grandmaster level with top players, and also at any moment you just throw me inside of a park with brothers in Brooklyn, and we just gonna flow.
Yep. So talk to me about what happens when you are outside of Brooklyn and you're in a chess club, no matter where you are in the world. And as opposed to being around a bunch of Negroes at the park in Brooklyn, now you're in a room where you may be and have been many times the only African American. What happens then? Is your confidence level sustained? Is there between me and you a level of intimidation? Talk to me.
And as I mentioned, did I mention my family was competitive? So we walk into a room with swag. I mean, I told you about my brother and sister who are boxer and kickboxer.
Yeah.
I have another brother who is a Marine, was a Marine.
Yeah.
And a sister who raised 3 kids, 3 boys, just worked for Aflac a bunch of years. And she was and remains the biggest trash talker in the family. Like, the rest of us are all these competitors, Marine soldiers, and you sit down with her and dominoes with her is a nightmare because she's just yakking away. So I have to say that was really good training for us. My dad was a professional dancer, and he taught us games as well. So you walk into that space, and given what my mother sacrificed and grandmother, and we just come in with attitude. I don't care who you are. And I think it also helps the Jamaican background. You come in with that, we small, but we are big on the international stage. And you just walk into any space and feel like, I don't care what color you are, you're going to have to deal with me. I'm not dealing with you. No. You have to deal with me.
I love that level of confidence, man. You mentioned your father, your mother, and your grandmother. Give me a sense of how your parents encouraged or were concerned, you tell me, about all this time you were spending at the park playing chess as a kid.
Well, my mother and father weren't together when we were growing up. So my mother would call my dad up and complain, like he's wasting all his time on this stupid board game. And I tried to explain to her that, this was my passions, my love. She wanted, where's the money? Where the money is? That's what she would say. Where the money there?
Yeah.
And I would say, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I just love this game. I just want to keep playing.
Yeah.
Now, I did keep it up. I was strong-willed about it. And frankly, she didn't appreciate that our kids were becoming boxers when she just wanted us to find some nice, regular, clean job, lawyer, doctor, something simple and straightforward she could understand and that she never had access to herself. But we all made it work. And now she's as proud as ever. You walk into her house, you can't say nothing about her son, the Grandmaster.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She knows exactly what I've done.
Talk to me about this line. I want to get a little philosophical here. Talk to me about this line that does in fact exist. Some folk know where it is. Some people do not. And even when you know where it is, that won't stop folk from accusing you of not knowing where it is and just crashing through it. But it seems to me that there is a line between confidence and cockiness. I love folk with confidence. Nobody likes people who they think are cocky. But give me your sense of what you've learned over the years about that line, even as a grandmaster, of confidence versus cockiness, if that makes sense.
I think to start, it is extremely important to recognize that people's assessment of you is a measurement of their own level of security.
Ooh, say that. Say that one more again. Say that one more again.
I said people's assessment of you is a measurement of their level of security.
That's right.
People who are confident themselves normally don't mind somebody who's cocky. Somebody who, if you're secure in yourself and what you can do and your abilities, you don't denigrate others for their level of confidence. And it's really your own assessment, because one person's cockiness is another person's confidence and vice versa. So to me, cocky is when you feel you're superior to others. Confidence is when you feel secure in yourself. So I think that's the difference. I think that people, when they feel like you just think you're better than them, people don't appreciate it. But when they can see that you exude confidence in a solid internal way, that means that you're not going to be pushed around easily, that you feel that when you enter a space, you're going to excel because you're prepared, you're completely ready for the moment, then people appreciate that. And it's just, the line is really crossed when you believe that you're actually better than other people, and that cockiness starts to say, I'm just superior to you. Then you lose people that way. So I think that's really the difference between the two.
I wonder your stories about the competition and the confidence in your family, your Jamaican family notwithstanding. I could take your story so far, and we're just getting into this. It's getting good. It's getting rich. But I could take what you said so far to mean that you have never felt on your way to becoming a grandmaster that you didn't belong in certain spaces. One thing to enter in with confidence. It's another thing to be competitive, and that's a beautiful thing. But are you suggesting to me that on your journey to becoming a black grandmaster in chess, you've never had a sense of this feeling of, do I really belong here? What some would call an imposter syndrome. You've never wrestled with any of that?
Imposter syndrome, no, but absolutely, I've been made to feel like I didn't belong.
Made to feel that way.
Navigate this world, as a black person in a space that is largely white or Asian, because that's really who dominates the chess space.
Sure.
You're not going to enter that space and not feel like, okay, where are all the other Negroes at? Like, just give me one or two, so I can feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That has definitely happened. I've had to go through that multiple times, and even had others. I mean, by and large, people are accepting, because you know what? They understand checkmate.
Yeah.
Right. They understand when you're putting moves down. They get that. They see moves very soon. They stop looking at your skin color, and all they see is
checkmate.
Pieces coming at them, and it's checkmate. And let's run that back. So mostly, I got to say, chess players have been very welcoming, but there have been comments that are just absolutely asinine and hurtful.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with that, but you have to deal with that anyway in the world, right?
Yeah.
At time to time where there's just some people you got to look at and be like, all right, I heard what you said, and come sit on this chessboard and let me show you what it feels like.
Yeah, I can.
And
Yeah.
that's usually my response, you know. So it's the reality of the world. We all have to deal with it.
I get it. I can show you better than I can tell you, as they say. Let me ask. No naivete here. I could ask the white question, but I get that it's a white world, it's a white man's world. I get that. But what is it? And I hate to generalize here, so I want to tread carefully here. But to your point earlier about the Asians, what is it about chess that allows or has seeded the ground in a way where Asians dominate in this particular sport?
Well, Asians haven't really dominated the sport until recently.
Right.
To tell you the truth.
Right.
The thing is, the game actually originated in India.
Right.
Like that's the first place it started. It traveled from Asia through Persia into the Arab world, across North Africa, and then into Europe with the conquest of the Arabs of the southern peninsula in Europe. And so that really is how chess entered into European society and culture. They then changed some of the rules of the game, radically, in fact, a few of the rules, and then it spread from there in European society, and then it came to the Americas, of course, when the people came to the Americas as well. So the game has traveled all around the world. What has happened is it has never really seeped into Black culture in a way where we pursue it on a competitive level or a high competitive level.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has somehow kept a certain ceiling over us in the game. It's people like myself and a few others who have broken through. So there is to me nothing but exposure and intent that causes people to dominate. That's it. Exposure and intent. And as long as you make sure people are exposed to the game, so aware that it's a game that they can play and they should feel comfortable playing, and then their intent is to become stars of the game, they want to become really good at the game and go all the way, then you'll find that you're going to excel. And that has been the case in other cultures. That has not quite fully come to fruition yet in African American and Black culture.
I love your phrase, not as yet, not as yet. I want to explore that when we come forward. Let me just tell you where I want to go when we continue this dialogue. Given what Maurice Ashley, this Black chess grandmaster who is our guest in this hour, said a moment ago about the Black culture. There's certainly those Black people listening right now who love playing chess. I'm looking at my board out right now, Miles, who is literally starting a chess club in January. So there are Black folk who love to play the game, folk who belong to chess clubs. But to Maurice's point, it hasn't really seeped into the Black culture yet. I'm curious as to why he thinks that is. I can't wait to hear his answer as to why he thinks it hasn't seeped into our culture the way other games. We're talking about spades and tonk and even checkers, and I can give you a bunch of games that we play all the time in our culture and in our community. Why has chess not seeped in at that particular level? I want to ask him about that, number one. And I'm really fascinated. I am not a chess player, but I am absolutely fascinated by what allows one to be a winner at the table at the level of grandmaster. Is it strategy? Is it style? To the game itself, what allows one to become a winner at the game of chess, much less a grandmaster? A great deal more to talk about with Maurice Ashley when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. A judge denied New York City Mayor Eric Adams' attempt to dismiss a federal bribery charge. Adams pleaded not guilty to taking illegal campaign money and bribes. President-elect Trump said he might consider pardoning Adams. A Georgia district attorney caught in the fallout of the Ahmaud Arbery killing is heading to trial soon. Former Glenn County DA Jackie Johnson faces obstruction and oath violation charges. She's accused of standing in the way of the investigation. The House Ethics Committee has voted to release its report on former Representative Matt Gaetz before the end of the current Congress. Gaetz denies all allegations, calling the investigation a witch hunt. And with Christmas a week away, the TSA reminds travelers to pack cookware, power tools, and large bottles of alcohol in checked luggage. The reminder follows an incident at San Antonio Airport in Texas. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
New deals just dropped at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select holiday decor clearance. Plus, save with weekly deal drops on appliances, tools, and more. Valid 12/12 through 12/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
More road games are coming up for Bronny James. LeBron's son will play with the South Bay Lakers in the G League Showcase this week in Orlando. When Bronny was assigned to South Bay in November, the original plan was to limit him to home games only. In South Bay's last 3 games, 2 of them on the road, Bronny is averaging 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. First game for South Bay in the 4-day showcase is Thursday. The Milwaukee Bucks were 2-8 in November. Last night, they won the NBA Cup championship in Vegas. They beat Oklahoma City 97-81. A monster triple-double for Milwaukee's Giannis Antetokounmpo, 26 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists. Former NFL star Michael Vick, a sensational quarterback back in the day, will be the new head football coach at HBCU Norfolk State. More details on Vick's new job this afternoon. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Environmental justice is racial justice.
Environmental justice is social justice.
This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You've been hearing me guest host here on KBLA Talk 1580, and I'm having a blast. But I'm excited about joining the official lineup here at KBLA Talk 1580 starting Monday, January 6th at 1 p.m. Start your day with First Things First and Dominique DePrima at 6 a.m. Check out Tavis Smiley at 9 a.m. Tune into Truth Time with Dr. Cornell West and Nina Turner at 12 noon, and then tap in with me on The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show at 1 p.m. weekdays. I served 17 years in the U.S. Congress, and I can tell you it's going to be a rough 4 years, so let's navigate this journey together. It's The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show, starting Monday, January 6th at 1 p.m. on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
On behalf of the Ayers family, KBLA Talk 1580 announces the public funeral services for our very own Robin Ayers on Saturday, December 21st, 12 noon, in the living room at the Faithful Central Bible Church, 400 West Florence Avenue in Inglewood. Robin will be sorely missed by all who knew her and the many lives she touched. We will hold on to our fondest memories forever. Family and friends are invited to come celebrate Robin's joyful life Saturday, December 21st at 12 noon in the living room at Faithful Central Bible Church, 400 West Florence Avenue in Inglewood. KBLA Talk 1580 extends sincere condolences to the Ayers family. Robin will always be in our hearts.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with internationally renowned chess grandmaster Maurice Ashley, talking about his rise in the world of chess as a black champion. His chess fellowship. We'll get to some books that detail his life on and off the board. Delighted to be in dialogue with this grandmaster. Maurice Ashley. So Maurice, I was saying a moment ago that I wanted to ask you when we come forward about a couple of things. One, let me go straight to this. What is it? I don't even know how to pose the question properly, but you'll take what I'm trying to get at. When you are a grandmaster in the world of chess, what is it that allows for one to become the best in the world? Is it strategy? Is it style? Tell me what I'm missing about how you succeed. I mean, I box. I box all the time, and I can tell you what it takes to be a great boxer. I can tell you what it takes to be a pretty good talk show host. But when you're on that board, what's behind your winning ways?
Well, so much goes into it that would take another couple of hours of a discussion. Mm-hmm. But I can highlight some important traits.
Okay.
One is an analytical mind. It's the sort of person you might think thinks too much when they are answering a question. But we are definitely the types that like to look and solve problems, puzzles, any kind of intricate questions we're very comfortable in dealing with. And if it's a really difficult puzzle, it's even better. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would give up, where a chess kid that you know is going to have talent will say, okay, I tried 3-4 different ways. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to get bored. The person who likes to solve crossword puzzles, do Sudoku puzzles, that kind of mind, you'll spot the chess kid instantly because that's their tendency. Mm-hmm. The other thing is a highly competitive mindset. Losing means the thing I need to do because I now need to go win, right? I'll take 10 losses and still want to keep playing. Grandmasters just have that ability to bounce back, to be resilient in the face of defeat, because you can't get better at chess without getting your rear end whooped quite a few times. So that's another quality. Another one is the capacity to study and digest information, and copious amounts of information at that. A lot of people don't want to study and sit around. Books, like, that's a lot of work. But Grandmaster understands that knowledge is power. And so if you are not so inclined to open up, now these days it's more digital, that kids are learning more online and on computers.
Right.
But back in the day, you studied books like you were studying the Encyclopedia Britannica. You just got to open up and learn the next thing. And so that's another quality that makes or breaks some people who have talent but are not willing to put in that hard work. So I would say there's just a few other qualities that, the more studious types, the more analytic types, the more combine that with a very competitive type personality. And also, there's something about the board too that we have to accept, is that some people can look at a chessboard and see stories where others see noise, where others see chaos, and that is a talent as well. So it's something some people are born with, where they're not confused by the board. A lot of people say, "Oh, you got to look ahead 20 moves." Actually, situational awareness trumps predictability, or the ability to predict the future. Just being situationally aware in chess is a massive plus. I know what's going on right now, and what needs to be solved at the moment, from moment to moment to moment. That is actually the true building blocks of strategy, is to be extremely situationally aware. And that is something that you master as you go along with the game.
I used the word style earlier. Let me go back to boxing, something that I know a little bit better. For example, Sugar Ray Leonard has a style. Muhammad Ali had a style. Tommy Hearns had a style. The great boxers all have a style. And so when you see boxers today in the ring, they say he reminds me of Tommy Hearns. He reminds me of Sugar Ray. He reminds me of so-and-so. Do chess grandmasters have a style? Could we watch other players and say he plays like Maurice Ashley, whatever that means?
Absolutely, 100%. And your style is a reflection of your personality.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing, we could talk about boxing. I told my sister's a 6-time world champion boxer, and she was a counter puncher. She was not someone who wanted to go hunt you down in the ring. She tried to bait you. They actually called her Slick because that was her nickname, Slick Ashley, because she tried to bait you to come after her. And then when you thought you had her, she just moved slightly to one side, you miss, and then she'd hit you in the face. Chess players do that as well. You have chess players who are extremely conservative. They're not trying to attack you right away. They're trying to build a fortress and slowly move forward towards you and then squeeze your position like a boa constrictor. Then you have the opposite personalities, the total crazy risk takers who are trying to calculate just when and the earliest moment they can come take your head off and just come all out and blast your king. And you'll see that the moves will be expressive of the mindset. Right? If you are conservative, your moves will show it. And you'll say, oh, so this guy, he doesn't like it when it gets wild. So let me take him into the jungle. And then those, the ones who are super risk takers, you say, oh, let's shut down the action so that they get frustrated and try to bash their head against a brick wall. So you not only do players have styles, you can have counter strategies against their style in order to defeat them.
Yeah. I love this. Since we're already there, let me just stay there for 2 more minutes, and we'll move forward to cover some other things, including your books and your work with these babies and your scholarship fund, essentially. But before I do that, while we're on this, as I said, when you get into a particular sport, whatever it is, I'm talking again about boxing right now. I start to see the world through boxing, and if you spend time around me, you will hear me use boxing metaphors for the points oftentimes I'm trying to make. I suspect the same is true of chess, that once you become proficient at it, and you're beyond proficient, you are a grandmaster, there are ways in which you see chess like life, like I see boxing like life. Yes, no?
Just wrote 2 books on it. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Both my books, Move by Move, Life Lessons on and Off the Chessboard. That's one book. That's an adult book that talks about that metaphorical intimacy between chess and life and business and the world, competition, sports. There's no question about it that is exactly how I see it. The world is a chessboard. The strategies and thoughts and interactions that you have with people are things that relate very closely to the kind of strategies that are on the board itself. And I give a lot of corporate talks. I've talked to folks at Google, Amazon, Pinterest, IBM, UBS, Deloitte, you name it, big Fortune 500 companies. And they pay me pretty decent money to talk about exactly that. And so that is definitely the case. I have the other book, which is the children's book, The Life-Changing Magic of Chess. And I bring that to a young audience as well to talk about those life lessons that I've learned from the chessboard. So no question about it. It's not like I see everybody as a king, queen, bishop, and knight now. Don't get me wrong. I'm putting everybody in that box.
Yeah.
But it's pretty close. Let's put it that way. You might be a pawn in somebody's game, and I got to elevate you so you feel like a queen or a king.
Oh, I get it. We've all been a pawn in somebody's game at some point, whether we want to admit it or not. We're talking with Maurice Ashley, this African-American chess grandmaster who I'm honored to have on this program. When we come forward, we'll talk about those books that he and I both just referenced. And I haven't forgotten this question I want to get to about why he thinks this game has not seeped into the culture of black folk the way it has in other cultures. A great deal more to cover with Maurice Ashley when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Somebody bring out the confetti, baby!
Starting Monday, January 6th, KBLA Talk 1580 has a new midday lineup.
I'm excited.
Are you ready for Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, and E. Quarterly Corte back-to-back?
Oh, my God.
Are you really ready for all this smoke?
I'm ready, brother.
Yes, we still have Dominique DePrima in the mornings and Zoe Williams in the evenings, but middays just got lit on KBLA Talk 1580.
We on fire.
All across America, people are talking about our new midday lineup. Starting Monday, January 6th, our KBLA 1580 app downloads are on fire because everybody's going to be tuning in.
Yes, I love you guys. You are the bomb.
Now would be a good time to hit up SMB at KBLA1580.com if you want folks to hear about your business or brand. That's SMB at KBLA1580.com. It's going up in 2025 on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's going up. That's what I want.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken. It's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet. But either way,
you're getting a winner.
The Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back with a bite. Try it with the original or spicy filet now for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley and Maurice Ashley, this black grand chess master. Let me move right swiftly here as my clock is ticking, getting away from me. Time is. Let's go to the children's book first. Tell me about this the life-changing magic of chess. Your book for kids. Tell me more, Maurice.
Well, it's a book that talks about my life growing up in Brooklyn and playing chess with my friend who kicked my butt and the lessons that I learned along the way. And it's out now, as I said, and it's just something that kids can pick up. It's an illustrated book. It's for 5 to 8 year olds thereabout, and it gives them a nice little introduction to the game.
I love it. Move by Move, life lessons on and off the chessboard. Tell me about that one for we adults.
Well, that's a book, as I mentioned, that does talk about those life lessons that I learned from chess, whether it's dealing with loss, whether it's the being able to win with grace, the idea of focus and concentration, how to master that, talking about risk. That actually an excerpt was published in the Wall Street Journal recently, which was kind of interesting because I got a lot of people coming to me from all walks of life after they read that. It was a award-winning economist who reached out to say I was dead on point with that chapter, and I even got a message from an associate director at the CIA, and he said, when you're ready, come to Langley and we could talk. I said, I don't know about that. Relax. That's getting a bit too high level for me.
Yeah.
But it is a book that just talks about these kind of very important topics that people can take and integrate into their lives.
Say a word, if you will, because I love this the formulation, if I can put it that way, of this notion of winning with grace. Everybody can't do that. People can't lose with grace, and these days folk can't even win with grace. Say a word about winning with grace.
Well, the most important thing to me is to recognize that even as a grandmaster, I am simply an advanced beginner. Whatever you do, there's always the opportunity for growth. The game of chess is so complex that when you think you know a fraction of it, you can divide that fraction by 100, and you're still not at that point yet because it's just so complex. And so it creates a certain degree of humility, even in those who can tend to be arrogant or cocky, because the computers show us that we're not that good. I mean, computers now have outstripped humans at the game. And so the engines, they just play better than us. And you make one small mistake and they run right over your face. So when you can recognize that really when you win you're against a human, it's because they were not as good as you, but there are at least other people who are better than you. And if not, we go to artificial intelligence, and that's better than you for sure. So you have to have humility in this game on some level, because you're always being put in your proper place. So you got to learn to win and recognize you're just winning because you happen to be better than the person you played against or had a good game. Yeah. And when you lose, that just continues to show you that no matter what level you get to, you still make mistakes. Yeah. And mistakes are actually what makes the game interesting. Perfection is not desired. I mean, it's not even a desirable quality. I don't chase down perfection. I just had a conversation with a close person in my life, and we were talking about exactly this topic of perfection. I said, perfection is not desirable. Excellence is. You can get better. You can continue to get better. You can continue to improve, but you're not trying to be perfect now. Yeah. Like, don't get it twisted. Yeah. That is not a goal. It may be a target, but it's not a goal. Yeah. It is something that allows you to improve every day and continue to recognize that you are human. You make mistakes, but you can become better each and every day.
No, I love it's a deep philosophical point, but I love that distinction between perfection and excellence. They are not the same thing, and one may be more desirable than the other. Perfection versus excellence. I could spend hours just unpacking that. In the moments that I have left, I have two of the other questions I do want to ask this black chess grandmaster, Maurice Ashley, when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
I've got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left with Maurice Ashley, chess grandmaster. And I think I can squeeze in a few questions right quick. Number one, has AI made you a better player when you play against it?
Anything makes you better.
Yeah.
If you're learning ideas, playing superior moves, you've got to adjust. You've got to take in the concepts and ideas that it's spouting, even if it's not actually sentient.
Yeah.
But the fact is, its moves are reflective of superior strategies and ideas. And yes, absolutely, AI has made us all better.
I'm looking at your book, the Life-Changing Magic of Chess, your kids' book, and it's a beautiful cover. There, you got kids of color. This graphic, this illustration. You got some beautiful kids of color featured on the cover of the book. I raise that only because I'm curious as to what you'd say right quick about why a parent would want his or her child to be exposed to chess at an early age. What are the takeaways? What are the advantages?
So many. I mean, the game is a mirror of life. It is a game that can train the young mind to think more reflectively, more critically, to solve problems more effectively. It is an absolutely beautiful tool to teach and train and discipline the young mind. And so every parent should be wanting their child to at least be exposed somewhat to chess. And the child, whenever you pick up chess, you never forget where you first learned it.
Yeah.
There's so many stories people talk about learning from a parent or from a grandparent or from a friend. And so it is a magical world that you open your child into when you show them the game of chess.
We were talking earlier about boxing and kickboxing and other sports as compared to the sport, the game of chess. I'm not asking for numbers here. I'm just asking, when you get to the level that you are as chess grandmaster, is there money in championship chess?
Oh, my goodness. You think I'd be playing if there wasn't? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love the game, but yes, at the highest levels, I just mentioned I came back from Singapore,
Sure,
where I was hosting the MC of a World Chess Championship between the two of the top players in the world. The winner walked out in 3 weeks after winning with $1.5 million. The loser walked out with $1 million. So, wow. Yes, there is money in championship chess. This is my career. This is something that I've done since I was in my early 20s as a job. I'm just getting paid $50 an hour to coach.
Yeah.
I can tell you I charge a lot more than that right now.
I'm
if you
sure.
want my services. So yes, there is definitely a way to make a living.
Yeah.
If you are deep into this game.
I ain't mad at you. In the 60 seconds I have left, that question that we raised earlier about how we get chess to be more part of the black culture. You tell me, Maurice Ashley.
A lot of our celebrities are starting to pick up the game. You mentioned a lot of sports figures, a lot of musicians, people like Jamie Foxx, who is a big-time trash talker at the game, even though he ain't that good. Jamie, stop it. But no, he's actually a pretty decent player. I think that's where it's going to happen. Jay-Z loves the game. I think when our culture starts to embrace it and put it out there, how much they love the game, because there are a lot of names that we could drop. Will Smith also is another one. Then I think our culture is going to start saying, okay, so what do we need to do to actually produce more Maurice Ashleys? And frankly, I was never a world champion. I want to see a young person come up and take the highest title, and I think we are very capable of doing so.
Maurice Ashley is a renowned chess grandmaster. I've enjoyed this conversation, talking about his rise in the world of chess. His 2 books, once again, the one for the adults is called Move by Move, Life Lessons on and Off the Chessboard. This children's book, great time to get it for Christmas as a gift, perhaps. The Life-Changing Magic of Chess, also by Maurice Ashley. Maurice, I've enjoyed this conversation immensely. Thank you for your time. Good to have you on. And most importantly, happy holidays, sir.
A pleasure, my good brother.
Thank you,
Happy
sir.
holidays to you.
Thank you. Stay strong. When we come forward, more of Tavis Smiley.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIA News. A judge denied New York City Mayor Eric Adams' attempt to dismiss a federal bribery charge. Adams pleaded not guilty to taking illegal campaign money and bribes. President-elect Trump said he might consider pardoning Adams. A Georgia district attorney caught in the fallout of the incident at San Antonio Airport